Hey, this is Jake from Jakesboard Reviews, and today we're finally reviewing and checking out the FRK from Slater Designs. Now, this one is a bit bigger than what I'd normally ride, but that's just because we didn't really have a choice. You know, with secondhand boards, you kind of have to sacrifice, finances a little bit. So if there's a board for $200, if you're not getting sponsored by any companies to do reviews, it sometimes gets a bit tricky doing reviews all the time with the right sizes. So this one's a 5'11", 18 3/4 by 2 9/16, and it comes in at 29.1 litres. I would get the stock 510 next time. Now this is in the LFT construction, not the hydraulic construction. As you can see, kind of got some tapered rails going. The wide points push forward on this FRK. It's a good paddler, it goes well. Definitely the epoxy and bumpier conditions doesn't feel as good. On this one we have a round tail, like almost like a more pin tail, and that just allows for rounder turns and hold in waves, probably 2 to 7 feet, I'd say. But they'll have to be clean waves if you're talking about wave size, because yeah, I found in bumpier conditions, even when it was bigger, the board just felt a bit too on top of the water for me. But I think due to that, like kind of more pin tail and the rails being not so kind of full, it didn't sit on top of the water as much as other epoxies, which felt kind of good. The board is good, there's no two ways about it. It's just, you know, sometimes if you get the wrong size, it impacts the board. I would say fin wise, you should ride an AM template, like an AM1, anything from AMs. If you got a Shaper series fin, futures, you could ride like, yeah, mainly AM1, AM2 if you got. So I'd recommend an AM template. Now, to talk about the board a little bit more, how it performs. I did enjoy it. There was times, obviously, in the onshore conditions where I didn't feel I really had much stability, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. But yeah, look, if you're looking for a board in a round tail that's not going to struggle in a 2.5 foot to 4 foot wave scenario, or 5 foot, this is a good choice to go, definitely. And yeah, it's running a single, It's a very slight double concave. You can feel it a bit in between the fins here. So if you put your hand there, that's just going to create a bit more lift, getting over the flatter sections. So if you kind of just had a pure single concave in this round tail, and there wasn't a little bit of double, even though it's very subtle, you'd feel the difference. If you've surfed for a while, you would kind of struggle to, grovel a little bit more, which you can actually surprisingly grovel on this a little bit, not too much, but yeah, it does work. So that's the FRK in LFT, Mann, Slater Designs, Mann. They've done a good job. Just, I'm not a huge epoxy fan, and I want to be honest in these reviews because it gives you guys an idea of what to buy and what not to buy. But if you like epoxies, you can't really go wrong with the Slater Designs. So it is recommended for people that like epoxy boards. If you don't, then yeah, don't buy it. But yeah, pretty plain and simply, it's gone well. I'll put some videos of me surfing. Anything else I haven't discussed? Kind of like thinner tail, not too much beef in the tail, so yeah, that's good as well. But it's got enough to keep you afloat. Yeah, and continuous rocker, so you can just see that outline. It's curved. It doesn't really catch. That's a real performance outline that can take you from anywhere 2 to 7 foot, no problem. Yeah, in the right conditions, obviously. And run a rake fin, and you'll be right. She'll be right. All right, cool, easy.
you